Can something so simple as scraping on gesso really create gorgeous texture? Let's find out. What's going on, everybody? My name is Tiffany Solorio, and welcome back for day 8 of 20 days of creative play. Now, today's prompt says gesso scrape with an old gift card and watercolor wash. If I'm being completely honest, I am overusing watercolors. I want to use my sprays. That's where my heart is with my sprays. So I am going to kind of make it my own today, and that's what these prompts are all about. Going with your creativity, having fun, enjoying the process. And if you're looking at these prompts and thinking, I want to add stamping, or I want to add this, or I don't want to do that, I would rather use this, do it. That's what these prompts are all about. You have full creative freedom to get your supplies out, do what you want with these prompts. That's what they are all about, is just inspiring you to use your supplies and to create something. All right, so I happen to have the heavy gesso in white from Prima. I don't know how old this is. Probably very old. I don't really use a lot of gesso. I don't have an old credit card, so I am actually just going to use a palette knife and then my scraper tool. And just going to kind of go different ways. And I am using mixed media paper. I think that's important to say because you don't really want to use a really cheap paper. Okay. Now, to get the most texture out of this, you want to do a few different scrapes and in different ways as well, because you're going to get something different every time. So let's see, we'll go this way. Get some on that edge there and in the center. Okay, so I did not scrape it. It's probably impossible to see, but I did not scrape it super flat, right? So you want to be able to see some of that texture on your background. That is what is going to give you that texture and all of that depth and everything once you start adding your color. Now, this is not rocket science, but just get it down there. Just add some gesso to your paper. I think I want to add just a little bit more up there. Okay. I think that is good. Now, I do have some of this fiber paste right here, and I actually wanted to try to do some gesso and fiber paste just to show you kind of the difference. And I was adding the gesso on here. So I'm going to add the gesso first. I know it doesn't say to use paste, but we are going with the flow, and I had it on my desk, so we're going to use it. Now, if you enjoy the mixed media process and learning new techniques, I do have a new class. It is a live class happening September 6th, and you do have lifetime access if you cannot make it live. That way you can watch and learn at your own pace. The link for that will be down in the description box, so be sure to grab that. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of this fiber paste. Okay, and then I'm just going to scrape it on just like the gesso. Not perfect, right? Different ways. All right, I think that should be good. Now I'm going to let these dry and then we're going to come back and add some color. All right, so I'm going to bring in my cookie cooling racks, and on the left I have just the gesso, and then on the right I have gesso and fiber paste. Now again, I am going to be using my sprays. You can use whatever you have, and I'm just going to kind of spray them similarly, so using the same colors. And I'm just using whatever I have on my desk here. That was antique linen. I'm going to go in with some speckled egg, of course. Then I'm going to go in with just a little bit of water. We're going to dry this. Okay, correction on that blue. It was weathered wood. I am going to go in with some speckled egg just because it's a little bit lighter than going to go in with some water, help that kind of move around a little bit. It's going to tilt this back and forth, side to side, just to help that move around. All right, we're going to dry again. All right, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Rusty Hinge just because this is like one of my favorite color combinations, and just to kind of give the background a little more color. I'm just taking the nozzle out and then just kind of splattering it on where I want it. Just gives a little more control instead of spraying it, because this color can get overpowering. And I just remembered, I think it's Rusty Hinge. Gets a little weird when you add it over top of gesso. Or it might be ground espresso. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Oh, get those. All right, now I'm gonna dry again. All right, I am gonna add a little bit of a different darker color. I have Uncharted Mariner on my desk, so we'll go with that one. Okay, now we're gonna add a little bit more water. I don't know if you can see, but the texture is crazy, even just on the gesso. I'm gonna get some of this color up just a little bit because it's kind of making a little mud there. And I do think I am going to go in with a little bit of ground espresso, even though I'm a little worried because I want to say that it doesn't do very well for some reason on the gesso. I'm just going to kind of tilt this one back and forth, side to side. All right, so these are pretty much dry. I am going to add some more water splatters just to kind of get some more movement going on. And then I'm just gonna let these dry on their own, I think. and then I'll come back and show you how they look. All right, so here are the two backgrounds, completely different look, very cool. Again, on the left we have the scraped gesso, and then on the right we have scraped gesso and then also some of the golden fiber paste. I absolutely love this stuff, and it kind of gives like a handmade paper look. Very cool texture. It's probably not picking it up. If you can get some of this, I would highly suggest getting some. It is a little pricey, so take care of it. Like, you don't want it to dry out. Use it, but it is definitely worth it. I absolutely love these colors, and this was a lot of fun, and I always forget that something so simple as just scraped gesso or just some scraped paste, how amazing the texture can be. I definitely had a lot of fun with this one, and let me know which one's your favorite. And if you try these, don't forget to tag me on social media. Use Inky with Tiffany or Create with Tiffany, either one works. All right, and if you haven't already, be sure to download the 20 Days of Creative Play. I am working on a classroom format for all of these. That way you can follow along, and then all of the PDFs that I mentioned throughout the whole series will be there as well. Probably some bonus things. I'll throw in there some extra videos that I've done in the past. And then that way it's nice and structured for those that want to follow along day by day. And I want to thank you all so much for stopping by. If you are not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. I am so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers, and I would love for you to join the community. And as always, don't forget to stay creative, and I will catch you all for day 9.